Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop. And you can get all these different products just to, dress outside of the box. We got a lot of drops in there, and I really appreciate the love you guys have been showing me. Okay, today's episode, this is something I really wanted to talk about and keep this conversation going. And it's just about, on my morning show, I always keep you guys updated with all the foods that has poison in it, and just all the latest updates on the foods that we're not supposed to eat out here in America. But within that, and me just doing my research on what to eat, I found out that in Europe, the food, and in a lot of other places, the foods are much different. And people are not, let's just say, people are, I would say, living longer, more healthier food, and let's just check it out, see where this is going in this conversation. So today we're talking about America versus Europe as far as the food and the health, as far as how we eat and the things we consume. What's going on? Let's get it.
Mickey made it. Mickey made what you made, Mickey.
I just came from the US to Europe, and I've been here for almost 2 weeks. Since being here and walking so much and eating food that's not poisoning me, I have deflated like a balloon. Now, none of my pants fit me, and I'm going to have to donate everything or something and go buy a whole new wardrobe. I've deflated. I hate America.
What's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore?
Food in the United States. Whenever I tell people I go from eating 1 meal in America to 4 to 5 meals a day here in Spain, they look at me crazy. Because what do you mean you eat all of this and this, take a nap, and then you eat even more of this, and you're actually losing weight, your skin's clearing, and you don't have stomach issues anymore? Yep, that's the usual reaction I get.
This was a big realization I had when I left the US. Our food supply is almost fully synthetic, bro.
It's not food. Where should we start? One of the major differences I've seen whenever I leave the country is tradition. Eating in America is kind of related to stress and a lack of boundary. Here in Europe, it isn't uncommon to sit down and eat for 3.5 hours. It's an experience you're supposed to enjoy and share with your family. Versus in America, I can't even tell you how many drive-thrus I've been through during a normal weekday just trying to keep up. In Spain, there's 4 meals a day. In Germany, there are 3 meals a day. In America, it isn't uncommon to eat once. This is a result of eating and drinking in America. I experience inflammation here and then again in my stomach. Okay, I've been back here in Madrid a little over 10 days now. Food is definitely fresher. I've bought all my fruits and vegetables from a guy off the street who grows them on his own and is happy to show us what they look like. In America, I had to become a vegetarian for dietary reasons. Here, I've been loading up the calamari and salmon. 0 gut problems. So as my skin clears, my hair grows, my mental health starts shooting back up, I'm realizing America's been the problem the entire time.
I just moved to London from the US. The food quality here is so much better.
I think American food is actually poison, and I'm gonna tell you why.
You wanna know why everyone in Paris is so fit and healthy?
Honestly, I always giggle at these videos because the leading causes of death in the US are cancer and heart disease. In Europe, cancer and heart disease. Life expectancy is also right around 80-ish years old for both America and Europe. It's no secret that food practices and culture in Europe are different. I feel like they take a much simpler approach to food compared to the US. Simple flavors, smaller portions, and I find the produce and the meat taste a lot better. But to be honest, their food in general is not astonishingly different. Like, the food is not magical. If you eat fast food there, you're still eating fast food. If you eat candy there, you're still eating candy. A lot of the banned ingredients in Europe aren't really banned because they're considered unsafe, but because they're just very conservative and more about hypotheticals according to metrics that they use. The US takes a more likelihood approach, like likelihood that something's gonna go wrong. However, The US is more subjected to lobbying influences at all levels of the government. I don't like when people lie about that or don't point that out. Because at the same time, there's ingredients banned in the United States that are not in Europe. Or Canada, for that matter. If you're like, oh my gosh, I can eat the bread in Europe, there's a few different factors at play. But wheat products in America are usually made of hard wheat, which typically has a higher gluten content. A lot of wheat used in European products is soft wheat, which has less gluten. Everything else is kind of noise. Walking more, less stressed out on vacation, placebo, I don't know.
People often say that the food in Europe is way better than American food. Let me tell you why that's true. The answer might surprise you because it's not what you would expect. It's socialism. So in the UK and other parts of Europe, they have these entities, which is their public health system. In the UK, it's the NHS. In France, they have something similar, as well as Italy. And these are set up for the sole purpose of having a collective health care for all citizens. Similar to the private industry in the US, the unhealthier the population, the more your premium would go. So that leaves a national socialized medicine more incentive to make sure the population is healthy. In the US, they leave that to the individual to decide. You've seen certain bills that have come through, like a reduction of sugar act in certain states that have been struck down because of American individualism, where people don't want to be told what they can and can't do. But in the UK, where everyone is a collective in this pool of insurance, it benefits everyone for society to be healthy. And because the UK government has a vested interest, literally a vested financial interest in the health of its constituents, they create laws and regulations to make sure that their constituents are healthier. So you see smaller sodas, you see less red dyes in certain things, you see less ingredient. And that's one of the benefits of socialism. Now, I know socialism is a scary word in certain groups, but Americans are typically okay with it when we talk about things like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. All of those things are social safety net. There's also the police and firefighters, public roads, public education. These are all similar structures of a socialist program that provides a benefit for the entire community. And because the US is reluctant to have anybody weigh in on their health care, you get the outcomes that you get, where you have high rates of obesity, lack of awareness of what's going into people's bodies, lack of regulations. Because this individualism is masked as capitalism that allows these corporations like Kellogg, P&G, Johnson & Johnson to dictate what's going to be the ingredients in the food and then sell that to the consumer. And it's on the consumer to know the difference. So you might get misleading labels like natural or organic or no red dyes, something like that, but it might be misleading to the consumer. But in Europe, you would see an ingredient like bread. It's going to have 3 ingredients for the most part: yeast, flour, water. So that's why the food actually is healthier. And here's a fun fact that I learned when I first lived here. If you go to the doctor and you are a little overweight, one of the first things they prescribe before any pill, before any other medicinal like remedy, it's a gym membership. Because they know that being obese or overweight is more detrimental to your health and also the collective pool health for all of the insurance program.
Every time I go to America, I dread that experience. In 1 week, I put on a pound. If I spend 2 weeks in the United States, even if I'm eating the exact same foods I'm eating here in Europe, I put on a pound a week. When I come back to Europe, I immediately start shedding weight. Here in Europe, I drink very little. I eat a ton of bread. I love carbs. I love the pasta here. I do not put on weight. As soon as I set foot in any state in the United States, I start getting bloated.
Well, you are surrounded by pesticides and herbicides at much higher levels. The water quality in the US is lower. What's going on there is you're not actually putting on a pound of fat. You're putting on a pound of inflammation. It's hard to put a pound of fat on in 1 week. Your cells, instead of turning that air and food into electricity and heat, they were turning it into inflammation. And then as soon as you came back here and you cleared the toxins, then you felt better. One of the reasons that I can live in the US and I can be as lean and fit as I am is that I upregulated all of my detox pathways so that I can handle the toxic environment that the government in the US created for us.
America has changed me, and I've officially reached the rock bottom. Okay, I'm kidding, I'm being a little bit dramatic right now, but I moved to United States 9 years ago, and I am a changed woman. So as you can see, I'm in the grocery store right now, and usually when I go to a grocery store in Europe, I dress up, I put makeup on, I do my hair, and this is what I look like right now. Clearly, no makeup. I don't even know if I brushed my hair today, and this is my outfit. A sweater with a giant stain on it. I don't remember last time I washed it. Some old leggings, and this. I would never go in Europe looking like this, anywhere. Randy probably loved an European lady, and now he gets this.
Okay, what I could say, growing up in America has been one of the greatest experience ever, all time, and lucky me, New York City. But what I can say when it comes to just social media and just seeing how things around the world, how things are going, sometimes I ask myself, I know most Americans, I would say 80 to 85% of Americans love America and feel like, yeah, this is the best place on earth. But the one question that I have for everybody in this whole America versus Europe conversation is, does America love us back? When I hear all of this thing about like poisoning in the foods, and does America more care about the look than how people are actually feeling about it? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about this whole, just the whole difference between, America and Europe, the food situation, and just the overall treatment and the whole overall human experience. You leave your comments down below and I'll get back to you. You guys already know my morning show, 9 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Love you guys. Until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe,